Is illegal to block roadways in Canada, but look at this show of force in 2025. Look at what our country has become.
Leave her.
This is a roadway.
Leave her.
This is a roadway. A roadway for emergency service. If we have fire or whatever, you're not allowed here. I'm a resident here.
Peace, yes, freedom, yes. Yes, we agree with you.
I live here.
Hey, you don't fucking touch her.
Don't fucking touch me.
Don't touch her. You're the one who's touching it. Don't touch it.
Don't move where I'm walking.
And you don't come and harass us
I
and then
live
ask us this
here,
bullshit.
and this roadway is against the law to block. In Canada, it's against the law.
Are you
It's not engaged.
Yes.
It's not engaged.
Free
Streets are now consistently being shut down on a daily basis in Toronto, in Ottawa, in Vancouver for a conflict that has zero to do with Canada. Zero to do with Canada. If you give a shit so much about this conflict, move to Palestine. We have so many issues in this problem. We have 2 million Canadians who are using food banks now on a daily basis. We have the most homelessness this country has ever seen. We have the largest opioid epidemic that this country has seen. We have a housing crisis unlike anything this country has ever seen. We have a healthcare crisis unlike anything this country has ever seen. Due to the communist policies enacted by the Liberal government over the past decade, we now have a 7.1% unemployment rate, highest in the G7, a 22% unemployment among youth males, highest in the G7. And what's happening in our society? We are allowing hundreds of thousands of people to come into this country from cultures that absolutely despise us. They are threatening Canadian citizens on the street, as I just showed you, day after day. Do not buy what the CBC, what CTV are selling you. I've seen these protests up close and personal 1,000 times now over the past 2 years. You cannot miss them. And these are vile hate groups, mass shouting the most vile bullshit that you have ever heard in your entire life, rolling fake body bags on our streets with fake blood, anti-Canadian, anti-Western. I have seen Canadian flags being burned. I have seen chants of death to Canada. And what is the Liberal Party of Canada doing? They are inviting these people in. We are now allowing thousands of Gazans into the country. We have allowed hundreds of thousands of people from the Middle East, from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from Iran. This is literally unprecedented in world history. To allow hundreds of thousands, millions of invaders since 2015 when Justin Trudeau was elected is unprecedented and is changing our culture at an alarming rate. And what does our Liberal RCMP police service do? They roll the red carpet out for these people. I kid you not. That was just a perfect example. Since when can you shut down a Canadian street with a religious protest? Since when are you allowed to shut down an emergency route? It's only because they are aligned ideologically with the Liberal Party of Canada. This needs to stop, and this needs to stop yesterday. This is a show of force from a culture that is radically different than ours. In Palestine, the law is if a man is caught sleeping with another man, it is a minimum 10-year prison sentence. And you read story after story about men literally being thrown off of buildings if they are gay. Yeah, you see the woke ideologues are supporting these people. If you so-called blaspheme Allah in these cultures, you are sentenced to a minimum 10-year prison sentence, and in many cases, you are sentenced to death. It is worse. These are not compatible values with Canadian values. I don't care if people come out, they call me a racist, they call me a xenophobe. It's just facts. Read a goddamn history book. For us to slam our borders wide open and say, come on in, is literally the definition of insanity. And I know Mark Carney, Justin Trudeau, whose net worth somehow went from 2 million to over 300 million in 10 years, despite he has something like a $400,000 salary as Prime Minister of Canada. I know they don't live in neighborhoods that are affected by these issues, but I speak on behalf of, I know, the vast majority of regular Canadians. Fuck off. We are so sick of this. This unfettered immigration into our country has transformed Canada in the past 10 years. The difference walking around Canada today, I've lived in Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal. The difference that has happened in under a decade is absolutely stunning. We are sick of having our civilization literally shut down on a daily basis for a foreign conflict that has nothing to do with us. Government of Canada, you have made the standard of living drop and drop and drop. Our GDP per capita in this country has now dropped 6 quarters in a row. GDP dropped 1.6% in Mark Carney's first quarter. We are getting closer and closer and closer to being a third world country every year due to these insane liberal policies. And what do? They continue to allow hundreds of thousands of people into the country who hate us. They hate us and they chant it. They literally chant it every single day. And they get cheerled by these communists in the Liberal Party. Anita Anand, when we announced that we were recognizing the terrorist state of Hamas, she jumps out of her seat at the UN and starts clapping like a goddamn seal. How does that represent Canadians? That does not represent Canadians. You are cowing to violent thugs. If you saw what went on in Germany after Giorgia Meloni announced that she would not be recognized Palestine as a state, the amount of violence was truly shocking. They attacked the Italian parliament buildings. What a bunch of cowards our government is, cowing to these people. They let them in because they vote for the Liberals over 90% of the time. They disrespect our country. They act violently. Like I said, I've seen these protests up close time and time again. These are not friendly protests. Don't believe the CBC. Don't believe CTV. They're fucking gaslighting and lying to you. The Canadian people have had enough of this crap. Write your MPs. We need to start rallying, because if they continue to allow hundreds of thousands of these people to come into our country every year, we are going to transform, and we are going to transform for good. It needs to come to an end, and it needs to come to an end right now. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member if you'd like to support the cause. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you're following on YouTube, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025. Because I put a lot of work in every day to get these videos out. Really appreciate the support. Canadian Patriots, it's time for us to stand up and say enough is enough.